Hi everybody, this is Matt. Welcome back. I have just a short video for you. As you know, I'm working at a software company now and that's taking up a lot of time, but I will continue to try to make some of these short little videos as much as I can. What I'd like to show you is something that I have used occasionally when I have played bass in a trio where I'll create kind of a fake rhythm guitar sound. This is the overall way that it works, and I'm going to show it to you in my digital audio workstation, and then I'll show you how it works on a guitar effects pedal, so you can see how the same plan is implemented in two different ways. To separate the theoretical way that you have something like this from the specific equipment that you're using. Once you can do that, then all you have to do is learn a new piece of equipment, and you can do what you need to do. Let's get started. In the audio workstation, I'm using Logic here. You can see that we have a bunch of things already set up, and I'll just step through how it works. We start with the bass sound raw by itself. We have this output going to bus 1, which means that the only way we are actually hearing this sound now is from this channel. This is an aux channel, and it takes its input from bus 1. Right now, all the plugins are bypassed, and we hear the output of the bass. So to create just a very simple bass sound, I'm using two plugins. I'm using a compressor. Here's the compressor on. So smooth it out a little bit. And then a bass amp simulator. It's just a little bit of EQ mostly. It's one of the DI simulations. So there we have the bass tone by itself. Next, for our guitar simulation, let's turn off the bass. So I'm playing, but you can't hear it through the computer at least. I have 3 plugins operating here in series, one after the other. These are the AU pitch plugins which come with Mac OS X, but you can use any pitch shifter. What I'm doing for the first one is I have set the pitch up to 1200 cents, which is 1 octave, and the blend or mix to 100% wet, in other words, 100% the affected signal. So here's the signal coming out of the guitar simulation channel strip before I've enabled any of these effects. Okay, let's turn on the first of the pitch shifters where it's going up an octave at 100% mix. So off, on. So we've shifted up the pitch by an octave. Now, that shifted up signal goes into the next one, which is shifting by 700 cents. That's 7 half steps, which is equal to a perfect fifth. That interval. So I will enable this plugin. And that gives us a root and a fifth, which is the same interval as a guitar power chord. Then we go through an amp simulator, and we have this. Combining that with the bass signal, we get this. And so then you have something that you could switch on quickly if the guitarist in the trio is taking a solo. Now let's take a look at how this would work on an effects unit. I'll set up the exact same thing, except this time on a different piece of equipment. Here we have the same setup on my Pod HD 500. Pretty much any brand of effect unit that will let you split the signal and do a pitch shift plus an amp simulator will let you do something like this. What I have here are 2 volume pedals so that when they're engaged, they're set to 0 and you can't hear anything through the effect. This is the bass path. The signal comes through here, nothing happens to it, and then it goes out, so it's just through my amplifier. And this is the guitar path. Let's start by turning off these 2 things and also disabling the amp. So that's just the plain bass signal going through. We have here a pitch shifter set to go up 1 octave, that's plus 12, at a mix of 100% so that the entire signal is shifted up. Let's turn that on. And then we have another pitch shifter which is set for 7 half steps, which is a perfect fifth, and a mix of 50%. Let's try that. So here's going through just the one pitch shifter, and here's through both. And we end up with a sound very much like a guitar power chord. But to complete the illusion, let's add a guitar amplifier that just that sound of the shifted root and fifth will go through. So if we add the bass to that, we can do something like this. Plus, by assigning that pitch, by assigning this volume pedal to a foot switch, we can switch between them at will. You can imagine how in a trio with just one guitar that would be useful during guitar solos.